Hello everyone and welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to learn the fundamentals of the progress bar. On the left side, you can search for progress bar, click and drag onto the canvas, and you can compile and save. Progress bars, as you probably know, are mostly used to display the player health, mana, game timer, loading screens, and much more. Now let's see what we can do with this progress bar. As any other item, you can click and rescale like this. So for the progress bar specifically, I will use the free scaling technique. I will not click size to content, because if you click size to content, it's going to be much more complicated to rescale it. So for progress bar, you can simply uncheck this one and we can freely rescale like this. Let's make it something like 200 by 50 here in the top right corner. So click on the progress bar, and on the right side we have here style. If you don't have this style, maybe it's closed like this. So click on the style and this style drop down, and we have background image and a fill image. Now let's see what is background image. Now click on this tint, and we can change the tint of the background. Let's put something like a red. Now for the fill image, click this drop down fill image. You can also change the tint, but we can't see anything because the progress bar is set to 0. Now let's click cancel, and let's go down to progress, and we have here %. So currently it's 0%. Now if you click and drag towards the right, you can see the progress bar is filling. So it goes from 0 to 1. So now we have this blue color. Remember, this red is the background and the blue is the fill. Now if you click on the fill image, and if you try to change the color here in the tint, let's say I want to put something like green or yellow, and you see we don't see yellow here. Or if you go to something like pink, we see some weird change of colors. This is because, now click cancel, because if you scroll all the way down, we have fill color and opacity, blue color. So if you want to change the fill color and opacity, which means the fill color, we have to change it here. So now when you click, if you want pink, if you want blue, this color, green, red, yellow, or white. Okay, now let's click cancel. Remember, fill color and opacity is down here, so don't touch it here in the fill image. You can simply close this, and now we can keep this red for now. For now I will close this background image dropdown. Now let's see what is this bar fill type. So for now it's set left to right. If you click this dropdown, you have many other different directions. Now let's go through each and every one. So right to left. Now to test this out, go from 0, this %. So click and drag towards 1. You see it goes from right to left. Now if you go to from center, now we have this weird shape. Let's go from center horizontal. If you go vertical, now you can see top to bottom. Depending on what kind of game you are making or what kind of UI element, you can choose here. So bottom to top. For example, we can make it something like this. And now we have bottom to top. Now let's click this arrow here to revert it to default. from left to right. And don't forget to rescale it like this. Okay, so compile and save. And for the bar fill style, I will show in a second what we can do with this. Now let's see what we can do with the other stuff. Now scroll all the way up, open again the background image. Let's zoom a bit closer. So when you select this progress bar, you see here margin 0.4 something. So if you put here 0 margin completely, you see some weird shape. So make it as a default. If you have a rectangle like this is the margin you want to have. Simply click on this arrow here. Now open the fill image. Now let's try and change this into different shape. From the resource file, you should have this downloaded. So progress bar circle. So select it. And in the background image, if this is closed, let me just show you how to open it. So under style, open the style, background image. So make it as a default now. So we have selected this progress bar circle and click on this arrow to assign it. And now we have this some kind of weird bullet shape. And now when you have this circle, it's a good idea to click on this margin and make it as 0. To have better rounding, I will show you what I mean now. And you have to apply the same thing for the fill, because at the moment only the background image is circle and the fill is rectangle. So if you want to have the same parameters, to make sure this is completely the same, you can right click on the background image. So that means we are going to copy the whole style of the background image, copy, and right click on the fill image, because we want to have exactly the same background and fill image. Now paste it. So you're still going to have this weird shape, but when you compile the code, now it's perfectly even. Now let's make it a proper circle. So select it. Let's go to size. Don't forget this is unchecked. So size, let's make it something like 200 by 200. And now we have this perfect circle. Now select again. And we can play with the percent. So from 0 to 1. Now I said we are going to explain this one. So now we can explain. So bar fill style. If you go to scale, now you see you can scale this circle instead of being masked. So let's play with the percent. So from 0 to 1, it goes like this. So I prefer to be mask. So again, now if you want to change this fill color, don't forget you can change it here, something like green. And in the background image, you can click this and make it something like blue. So now we are changing the background, not the filling, but the background. So if you want to make it as a black, click and drag this on the right side. Now we have this, but I'll make it a bit lighter. If you want, we can play with the alpha here. You can make it like an invisible or a slightly visible. Let's say something pink like this, and opacity. So it's up to you, but I will leave it as a 1, a little bit like this. So I will click OK now. Compile and save. Now let's see if we can play with the other side of filling. So let's see from center. Now if it's mask, we have this effect, but if you go to scale, now from 0, it's going to grow until 1, until it fills the same image. Okay, so we have many variations in this. You can choose what you want the best. So let's go to the default. So from left to right. So we can compile and save. Now if you play the game, just to see how it looks like. So this is the progress bar. Let's go back to the design. So this is just for showcase. We are going to use the normal standard progress bar. So if you want to revert this to its default, click on the progress bar. So go to style and we can revert everything to normal. And for the color, click on this arrow to revert to default. For some reason, it might be a bug. It makes the color white because the default was something like this. But we can set it manually like this. Click OK. Compile and save. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you've learned something new in this lesson. In the following lessons, we're going to make some awesome programming with the progress bars. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.